I knew today was gonna suck.
Oh.
I didn't realize it was gonna suck this bad.
Yeah, I just didn't expect to be taken out. I don't think Dale did it either. I expected there to be a
but
crash.
it made
I
it a
didn't expect it to be me.
very interesting race for me.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty okay on the mediums. I was clean, I was consistent. I got up to 3rd place by not pitting for most of the first 10 laps. And on the softs, everything went to crap.
Yeah, I did laps, I want to say 5 to 17 on softs.
Shit, you did 12 laps on softs.
I think so. No, it was more than 12. 5 to 17.
Alright.
That would be
If you're doing iRacing, chuck me a name and I'll add you on iRacing.
It's through my Steam, so it should be Franger, but I'll grab it up in a second.
It should.
I get to have a real name on iRacing.
Yeah, it would be a real name.
Send it
over.
a real name. Yeah.
I'm higher road class than Nikita Mazepin. Hell
Well,
yeah.
that's not a very hard level to attain.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, you are.
Yeah, but Nikita Mazepin's a professional racing driver.
Hey, he's in the professional league, but what does he actually have under his belt?
Money. What about Lando Norris? Where's Lando Norris in this? What about Max Verstappen? Does Max Verstappen play iRacing? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it does.
I think most of them do, don't they?
Oh god. Oh no, he got his information
I haven't
private.
competed in any online events yet, but I know I should in iRacing.
So Lando Norris is C-class.
I'm still doing poor man's iRacing. Race room, race experience.
Race room is literally like buying stuff as well.
Yeah, that should.
Hey, if you can get the entire collection of Race Room for $40 and don't have to pay a subscription, that's basically just like buying iRacing outright as if it was a AAA title.
iRacing isn't a AAA title. Alright.
You know what I mean, though? Like the $60 title release.
Be with a 4 on the
Yeah, I can see that. I'm having a look now. Alright. Oh, you're a rookie. Maybe I'll have to come and join you in some rookie races. For the memes.
Yeah, I haven't done anything online. I might just hop in now. Might as well.
Alright, I've sent you a friend request.
Do you do it in the dashboard once you launch it?
I don't know how it works in Steam. I use the website.
I only did through Steam because I had $300 on there because I sold a CS knife.
What the?
So I have been buying content with that cash through my Steam wallet, which has been excellent.
$300.
What knife did you sell?
I had a.
This is now making me go look at my knife.
Yeah, 300 for a knife is like mid-tier, isn't it? Those things go for 10k.
Yeah.
You get a good one.
Yeah, I got a flip.
I think it was a flip knife. Ultraviolet.
I'm still astonished.
Yeah.
I have a flip Boreal Forest, so that's currently on the market for $182. $182. So not quite as much, but welcome to the world of CS:GO items.
Literally though, I got it as a birthday gift, and I told the guy, I was like, hey, I want to buy iRacing content, and he loves racing as well. He's like, do it, bro. Just if you can sell it for that price, fucking do it. Because I think when he bought it for me, they were around like 220, so it was a huge increase on what
I bought mine.
He got it for like.
I think I bought mine at like $28-30 and it's just gone up since.
What does $300 get you in iRacing anyway?
Literally, probably like half.
Gets you a fair bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, $70 US is going to be this yearly subscription, right? So then you got 200 left.
Yeah, I didn't do. I've just done the regular subscription, but I've been buying like cars and tracks. So I think I've got like 6 or 7 cars and at least 6 tracks with that money, and I still have like 150 left over or something because of
Should
the
I-
bulk purchase discount.
Should I
I'm
go-
just seeing where the
you-
fuck I accept you as a friend.
I don't know how to do it in the dashboard. So you want to know how many cars I have? I have to count them real quick, including over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Weirdly,
6,
you've just
7, 8,
got me
9,
to launch CS. Like, I just want to play CS now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Wait,
7,
I think I
8,
accepted you.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Jesus Christ.
What are we counting?
How many cars I have in iRacing? And then tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna count. It's like over probably 30 tracks.
Come on, CS.
Oh god.
Is it launching? There it
Yeah.
goes.
4x3, nice.
Yes, of course. There it is.
Oh yeah, nice.
The
Oh, that's what you
ugliest,
mean by Flippanaya.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the butterfly.
No. Butterflies go for more.
Yeah. You said you bought that for 20 and it's just increased in value since.
It was about 40 US, and then it's gone up since. And that was before Steam added the AU pricing. Because they launched Counter-Strike in China with the marketplace, and then all the inventory items skyrocketed like 3 years ago.
Literally, the same friend that got me the knife, how he got it is that he has like 5 to 6,000 cases that he got at like 5 cents.
Yeah.
And then we'll flip them when they get up to 30, 35 cents. And usually, like, he has done that with, like, time and time again, because I think he unboxed a knife originally and has, like, had so many just game buying sprees for, like, everybody.
Jeez, this
Because
case is
of it.
going for $6.
Yeah. The esports cases all go for so much now.
Yeah. I should have a few of the older cases, but these ones probably $5 for these two. Just gonna keep holding on to everything.
What replays do I have?
$1 for that case. Like, my cousin, when he first started playing CS, he opened up one crate and got a Dragon Lore.
Jeez.
Like Battle Scarred Dragon Lore. And it's, worth a couple of thousand or whatever it was at the time through third-party, markets. But he decided just to put it on the Steam marketplace, which is a cap of $400 US dollars at the time, and he just yep, good enough.
Mm.
Like, he could have made so much more with that.
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah. Other than that, my CS inventory isn't worth a ton. It's just 2 items that are... I had a couple of cobble cases back in the day. From the major.
From the major, yeah.
Back when they actually just used to give them to you from watching the stream.
Oh, I'm gonna watch some more Top Gear. Would anyone like to watch the original Top Gear? Like, some of the original seasons? That's what I'm watching right now.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I probably should be going to bed soon.
Well, I need to go to bed soon, but I gotta be up at 7.
That's not that early.
And then I have to get to work by 9.
And you're also in a later time zone than us.
Yeah. time do you need to wake up?
6 of them.
Yeah.
Even though I work from home because of COVID, they still want me up stupid early. At times. At least I'm not waking up at 3:30 like I had to last Monday. I don't like when work makes me do that. Just ruins your week.
Anger is weed. What?
Oh, we'll do better next week.
Anyway, I'll head off. See you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the
See
same.
you next week.
What should we do after the Melbourne race? I know we'll take a break, but should we do...
You mean immediately after on the day, or like the week
Well,
following?
not immediately after, like, I don't know, a week or two after. Like,
We
do
will
do, like an
plan
Assetto
something.
Corsa thing, or...
I could afford to put up an Assetto Corsa server and we could all, do a race if you
I
wanted
can run
to.
a server, that's not a problem.
A Bathurst race with the server would be excellent. Like,
But
That's
can we not
rough.
go in V8 supercars because the Assetto Corsa V8?
No. In competition zone, or does not everybody have competition zone?
I have competition.
I got it. But I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
about
do
the
as
other
well.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Have to
say
double check, but
we do Bathurst and Assetto Corsa, and then
Yep.
like you guys can all race, and then I can be the commentator because I've got free cam enabled, so I can just like get even cooler shots. Because
Right on
Are
the...
many people here in Grid Legends?
yes,
no.
no.
But is it Grid Legends or is it... It's Grid Legends that's going to be free on Prime Day. In,
It
like,
is.
yeah.
On the 17th or something?
Tuesday next week. Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
This Sunday, I could shift the time forward by a few hours because we normally start. But this Sunday, I'm planning a racing day with a Scotsman.
Yeah, right.
So if I shift it to like 8 PM Australian time, the same time we normally start here. I don't know if anyone would be free Sunday. I don't really have any idea for the game in mind though. I'm sort of just... It's being in a Scotsman at this point, and we both have Grid Legends, but besides that, we could switch to a couple of other things.
Yeah, maybe. Not sure.
Yeah.
Worth putting in the channel though.
I have a poll set up for it, but
wait.
yeah, it's a short notice thing, so I don't really know if the poll is worth it yet.
Poker 3. Or V8 Supercars Australia 3, whatever you want to call it. Play that classic again.
Is it easy to set up a custom lobby in Assetto Corsa?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Super easy.
I still reckon we just do a track day. Everyone goes out, finds their wackiest Assetto Corsa mod or what car they want to drive, right?
Just go back to Toka.
And then we all just jump into this one track and we all just mess around with each other.
I just want to go back and play this again.
What year was it made?
2006.
Yeah, I probably still would have not been walking by then. Yeah, I don't know what that
Jeez.
game is.
Oh, this game was my childhood racing game.
You know what gave me a conniption the other
Did I
day?
just make you feel old then?
Slightly.
You know what gave me a
How old are
conniption
you?
actually the other day?
I'm only 16.
Right.
I was looking up
Both
the
of my
release
younger
dates for all of the
brothers
Grid
were older than me.
franchise. I found out. I don't know if this is correct. I don't trust it because it sounds wrong. Grid 2 apparently came out in 2013.
That sounds about right.
Grid Autosport came out in 2014.
Yep.
How are the best and the worst, well, no longer the worst, games in the franchise released 1 year apart?
No idea. I've got the original Grid DRM3 somewhere.
I can't get it to work. I think I own it on Steam, but
I got it on GOG somewhere.
Just
The Toka Race Driver 3 is brilliant on LAN because it still works up to like 12 players on LAN, and it's just like you got V8, the entire V8 supercar circuit and everything. It's great.
I have one question. How old did you think I was?
Oh, you're at least 18.
Yeah, no, I would have had my car by then. I probably would have been doing stuff to my car. End of the year, I will be 17, and I'll have my P's.
Yeah, right.
What? Um, I need to have a chat with my mates because I don't know if we are doing this 24-hour. Don't know what's going on. Kind of all just disappeared. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna head out. I'm falling asleep. God damn it.
Alright. See ya.
So, see ya.
are we still
See
uploading
everybody.
clips anywhere?
I've just been uploading it to the Google Drive.
Are we planning to transfer ownership to whoever owns the Google Drive? Because I don't have a lot of space left in mine.
I didn't know that was a thing, but
If you upload to someone else's shared drive, you still host the file until you
Yeah.
give ownership elsewhere.
how do you give ownership?
Go into sharing permissions and you just select anyone else who has edit perms on the directory and you can transfer ownership to them.
Transfer. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Possible.
I've got
Ask
Silverstone.
Nathan.
I've got Silverstone, I've got last week and this week, and I won't be able to put all three at the same time up on Google Drive.
Well, I don't know if you can transfer ownership to me because that would be fine. I've got like another 20 gig or something left on my Google Drive, so I pay for the 100 gig, like $20 a year.
It's actually not that bad, 20
Nah,
a year.
it was like, oh, that's reasonable. Anything past that, it was quite a fair bit. But like the cheapest one they had was fairly reasonable. What was it? $24 a year for 100 gigs.
Probably beats the competitors out by a large margin too.
Yeah, and I just use it for uploading small files for things and then transferring it to other people and downloading them. So I find it super useful for that. 200 gigs is 43, which isn't quite as like it's cheaper, but it's like, do I want that much?
Hmm.
I'm nearly at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out for the night as well, guys. So I
Yeah.
will see everybody for Australia next week.
Yeah, see ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll head off too. Alright.
no.
Good night.
And thus, there was now only one. I am soured by the night, but it is fine. I knew it was gonna suck. I just didn't expect to throw it all away trying to get past Bliss. Surprised he didn't know I hit him. Surprised he didn't spin out either. I want to review that part of the VOD. Actually, can I bring that up? What is zoomed in? Oh, that's very zoomed in. Lord knows what that's for. Him? Steam isn't capturing. Oh, no, Steam is capturing properly. There it is. Why is that so zoomed in? I don't know what that's for. Export complete. Let's have a quick look. I want to watch my terrible last 3 laps before I had to start cashing in low broken wing. Why not show up in my own sidebar? Even live. Weird work of... Oops. Skip to an hour ago. Where were we? I'm gonna up it to 720p. Let's see if I can zoom in on the Steam overlay. Possible. Probably not.
There's one subject we haven't touched on yet, and it's one that you're supposed to be quite famous for.
Ooh, I can. It's capturing the whole thing. Look at that.
I would mean bird. You haven't had anything interesting to tell us about birds?
Let's go.
No, our harbors, it's the herring gull. This is the first cousin of the herring gull. They're very friendly
Oh,
birds.
weird. What have I done?
They're scavengers. They help to keep our waters
60,
clean.
80, 320. Oh wait, what's this?
And they follow ships for the food.
Looks fine.
Sailors or passengers.
Unlock the preview. And we'll transform, set the screen. Set it there. Lock preview. Here we went in for the pits. I actually have to click out to go back here. Export video. And then we'll go. So Bliss overtook me coming out of the pits. Draw that absolutely ruined my race. And to be fair, it's not Bliss Tech that ruined the race, it was me. It was me being like a mix of passive and indecisive. I gave way around the first hairpin when I probably could have contested and tried to make sure I won on the first set of chicanes. If I'd done that, I could have genuinely just disappeared into the sunset. But might speed things up a little bit.
You wouldn't mean birds, would you?
I would mean bird. You haven't had anything interesting to tell us about birds?
I feel like this things. We had a decent time keeping pace. We were going easy. I spent my first few laps thinking I would just sit behind him and wait for my opening. Problem was that my opening started disappearing. I didn't take the ones I was given, or I messed up not taking or capitalizing on the opportunity. We did pretty well. We had a lot of overtake. And we were setting positive deltas even just cruising behind Blizz. We kept catching up on half of the corners around the track. And then I would just cruise. This whole point here, I was just cruising. I'm keeping pace, I wasn't pushing too fast. That could have been an opening if I ran a little wide. If I was willing to commit around the outside, I feel like I could have actually gone side by side and won on the hairpin here. Because he went wide, going into the hairpin. Would have resulted in collision, but still, I think that taking my chances there would have been the right play. But coming onto the back straight, we got our first set of DRS. And I think, no, we didn't have a collision here. We just kept it easy, kept it smooth. We're still up by 0.7 of a second on our best lap. We're up a whole second coming into the right-hander. This is where I noticed he was taking it very wide, so I don't know what condition his tires were in, or if he had some kind of wing damage. He may have had minor wing damage, because I know I couldn't take that flat out when I yellowed my wing coming up of the lap. I let my mental get the worst of me though, because here I was genuinely chilling, I was fine, and I was content. I had no problem with the strategy of just waiting out for a mistake. The problem was that I then tried searching for an entry and wasn't keeping my distance properly, or I don't know. I think this is the first point. A bit of yellow damage. Not the end of the world, still keeping pace and still doing pretty well here. But I do believe we do get brake checks coming up to the end of the back straight. Still using all of our overtake. It is amazing actually how much the assists help you just put the foot down at the start of a straightaway. Like, I am so scared of the throttle, and I sometimes, and that, there we go. We oranged the wing, now we're in a bit of trouble. Still, even with an orange wing, we're fine. It just means we can't take our right-hand turns as good as we was here. Because, done. I don't know if we've watched any of these. Have we watched any of the highlights from the last 3 weeks? And last but not least, Stinky Poop can have song number 4. Two collisions on the same lap because I was trying to search in the braking zone for a bit of an opening and just ended up rear-ending him a couple of times. Considering how much I was leaning the brakes, does seem a little sus. Not gonna say, but I mean, he said he didn't know I was there. And, like, without going too much into it, I can sort of tell the rear view, like, I don't have rearview mirrors and I don't have Jeff, so I have to keep very conscious of my surroundings to know people are around me. I give way too much room I give way too much room when people go side by side with me because I have no actual visual interpretation of where they are. I only can sense whether or not I'm going to problem. Coming here, we ran a little wide. It did a good job, honestly. After I had the wing damage, there was no longer really an opportunity for me to just push past easily. Once I had the wing damage, it genuinely was a matter of actually having to work for my overtakes. Which didn't really help my mental either, because I started pushing into the braking zones, not meeting my apexes. Like in this whole section here, I missed every single one of my apexes trying to catch back up. It was the next lap, sorry. But I just started absolutely missing all of my corners. We pushed it around here with the damaged yellow wing. We kind of held it, we ran wide in the midsection. And I think this is the lap where it all went wrong. We were doing well, we were using our overtake, we were sticking in the DRS zones, we were getting our markers for the most part, even with an orange wing. Came up here, we had a good braking zone. We pushed our brakes actually really well there. And then we had Durr behind us coming up to the rear. I didn't notice. I was so focused on trying to make room here. I was focused on trying to hit my apexes and close the gap. I had no idea Durr was behind me. And that's the thing, I mean, if I'm not actively looking at my surroundings and taking in information, I won't know. Okay, it wasn't this lap. But I do want to actually have a look. When we get to the corner, I want to know if I imagined there was space or if I genuinely could have made the turn if I kept a tighter angle. Because I think I wrongly read the overtake and killed myself. I'm very surprised Bliss got away with my impact, because yeah, we were both high speed, I was going twice his speed. The fact he got away with it baffles me a little bit, actually. But coming up into the sweeping right-hander. Nice pace on the final turn, coming up to the main start line. We still hit our DRS zone, still have overtake to 6th gear. We are positive delta across the start line, up by 0.02 of a second coming into the hairpin. We brake a little late, but we still make the apex. Coming up onto the exit, a little slippery, but we hold it. We lose a little bit of time, we're back down in the positive deltas now. Coming into the chicane, we do pretty well keeping our line through here despite a damaged wing. Down into 5th, trying to hold the car. We follow the driving line there. That was amusing to me. This bit here, just him turning in and me going, oh, that's the Kern, and then like, nope. Alright. That is the 3rd export complete. But I'm gonna turn on the live mic. Let's find out what nonsense I was saying. Oh, good lord. Alright. Back to me from the past. You guys can't hear me from the past because the audio is not being filled through. And fix that. Do you want to hear the audio from me from the past?
Here are male red wings feeding together
And talk over myself and interrupt myself as a commentator. Oof.
There's not a
The
single
meta.
female in this flock.
4th wall, we're breaking the net with... Yeah, and then there was a joke there.
The males arrive long before the females.
Sound. Team web help. Put it on the Discord volume thingy. Alright! Back to me from the past.
Early in spring, the red wings return to the northern market where they raise their young.
I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him. And I'm gonna take this bit right here and we're gonna turn into... I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him.
Blue flag. When people each decide what does going on with the rest of the
Clip is broken. I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him. Clip broken. Me a new clip. Video download was cancelled? Yeah, okay. Again, third time's the charm. Come on. Come on, Twitch. Come on, Twitch.
When the males arrive on their nesting ground, the flock
Error 1000.
and each male selects a small territory.
Alright,
in the
fine.
flock.
Take me to a highlighter.
He drives the other males away and sings and displays
Go on.
the scarlet epaulet.
How many clips do I have? This is the part. I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him.
Blue flag.
In hindsight, this clip is actually kind of amusing to me. Okay. Oh. So, and then it rebuffers. Okay, we have the bar this time. Good. A little longer and we'll cut it shorter. Come into the sweeping S's. I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him. I don't know why I sound so mad. That's kind of funny.
Blue flag.
As far as analyzing that overtake, I still think I could have just cut the corner narrower. Like a narrower angle, and I think I would have been fine. Do we need to show the takeoff again, or can we just cut it after the spin out? Do want the rotate back around, but I think we cut it here. I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him. Now we just need a title.
Blue flag.
I feel like I drove that corner like I had the exit line. I should have cut that way narrower and I would have been fine. I did the same fucking thing. I turned in following him. I already cut it pretty close. I don't know if the wing definitely didn't help me there, I don't think. I'm not sure. I never remember which way the wings damage affects turning. But we both turn in I don't know why I sound so angry. It's funny. This bit here, he missed the apex entirely. We were lined up, but we were lined up as if he was not there. We turned in pretty aggressively, to be fair, but we didn't actually rotate the car around. And I don't know if the left front wing has damage. I don't know if turning left like this works this aggressively without laying off the throttle and trying to rotate the car around a bit. And yeah, he turns back in because he's on the exit of the path. I went to cut him off, was my driving lane, and he just straightened up and went down the track. So the collision happens. I have obviously damaged my wing and completely spin out. Dirk would have saw the whole thing. I kind of want to know his perspective actually, if he has the VOD recorded. But yeah, my line was fine. The only flaw with what I did here, if I was faster... I turned in following him. Okay, thank you. If I was faster through that bit and I was actually right behind him here, if I timed these corners better and actually caught up a bit more, this would have been fine. A cut like this, 50-50 whether or not they tell me to give the position back, to be fair. This is a pretty bad cut. We're basically riding the sausage right here. But having said that, if we hadn't missed the apex, like we came in here, we were fine. We dropped down to third. Not wrong corner. Was this one? Same fucking thing. He lost us a little bit here because we weren't able to turn very well. Or we didn't have a good line. If we kept to our track knowledge and weren't just tailing, we could have gained a bit more time here because we were still faster going around that corner slightly. And here we gained a little bit of speed because he was super wide, and he went wide again because he had a narrow racing line coming into the corner. He was very close to the curb, I should say. He made the corner sharper for himself, which meant he had to go out and sort of turn. All that in mind, if we were closer, this would have been fine. He picked up too much speed and I hadn't accounted for the fact he would just be in my exit lane. If I played those sections of turns better going up to that, that play probably would have worked. I don't think there's anything wrong with going for that. I just needed to be closer and didn't need to be so focused on following. I needed to be focused on nailing apexes. And to be fair, I did have pretty good lines, given I had also had wing damage. What do we call the clip? How not to overtake. Seems fitting. But thus solidified and cemented my position back in 6th. If I kept my minor wing damage, even overtaking him, I don't think I could have created 6 seconds of distance. If I hadn't completely screwed over my last 5 laps, we would have been fine. That's a nice break. Zoomed in. Do I rename something in OBS? Oh yeah, I played it bad going up to the attempt to overtake. If I'd played it way more cool, we probably could have gone for it the next couple of laps and got it. But I just gunned it. All went downhill and there we go. That was what basically ended the race. It is what it is. I love how angry I sound. Because what's weird to me is I remember thinking that was funny, actually. The same fucking thing I turned in following him. I remember thinking, oh, that's kind of funny at the time, and I sound so angry. So yeah, that's basically the rest of the race. We cruise it out in 6th, we hold off Bernabarbot coming up behind us so we gain a little bit of distance. You know what's insane? Is how badly I drove this track, and then I get damaged tires, and I'm not posting my personal best lap times. Oh, that's not Bernabarbot, that's X. Yeah, I just go wide here and let him pass. At the end of the day, what fascinates me is no matter how much I commit to the one pit stop strategy, it pays off temporarily, but I just give back positions. If I hadn't given the position to BlizzTech coming out of pit lane and held my line coming into hairpin 1, at the risk of a collision to be sure, because I'm going in blind, then I could have avoided everything that went wrong with the final 10 laps. And on top of that, the fact I was in 3rd place, actually in front of Joel. Like, where was that? 35 minutes in? Like here, I'm at 23%, so I don't know if they've pit already. This is lap 5. When did they pit? Not doing too good. We've already... We turn it down. I forgot I talk. 20%. We're at lap 8. People are pitting here. I think this might be it. This might be the lap. But if I try and actually have a bit more confidence in my driving, focus on nailing my lines and worrying less about people running up behind me, I think I'd be fine. Strategy that is not possible where we actually teams. Turn myself down. I hate this. I don't want to hear myself talking. But yeah, we came out of pit lane. Everyone's got their first pits. Joel, I swear, some people went for like a 3 red tire pit stop strategy. I don't know where they switched out their tires. I don't know. I'll check. I can't check the standings. I could check the VOD, seeing the pit stops afterwards, but I swear everyone did qualifying on softs. Then we would have went to mediums at some point, or hards. Paranoid of the pit chief coming in and telling me I've got penalties again. But something I should have taken as a footnote was the fact that I was keeping pace, if not as consistently fast as Joel or Durr. So I was coming into these corners fine. I was keeping pace. I was on the, they're on fresh softs. I'm on 30% mediums. But I hadn't got enough confidence in the track or myself at this point in the race to actually capitalize on any sort of pace that I was getting. I want to actually see the point where I give it up. Because I do. I'm certain I just give up the position. And I think it's because I run wide. Which is a pretty typical thing for me to do, to be fair. Put myself under pressure, psych myself out by focusing on the person behind and not focusing on the apexes in front of me. And then I run wide and just go, oh, well, there you go. I want more time on the yellows than on the reds if I do switch to reds, but I have to bear in mind, given the way the tyres are wearing, with 10 laps in at 30% tyre wear on mediums, I could pit now to the hards I'm also very annoyed at the amount of times Jeff came on the radio to tell me that I had run out of warnings and then immediately came back on the radio to say, yeah, you've got a penalty. Both penalties I had...
How do you design something that looks so
I hate it. Both penalties I had was like, oh, be careful. The stewards have said if you keep cutting the track, you'll get a warning. And then immediately after, it's like, the stewards have said you've got a 3-second penalty. Come on. A little bit more heads up would be nice.
It's not going for the overtake.
Yeah, Joel had DRS here, I'm sure of it. And he did catch up pretty quickly. I tried to meet my braking line. I think I did pretty well through here. One of the key issues I think I have is that being in front of someone with this quicker pace behind me puts me under a lot of pressure to nail everything perfectly. I have to hit my braking markers, I have to hit my apexes, I have to float out of the corner, or else I am giving up the position. It's less a matter of giving away a freebie and more a matter of just being so much better than I normally am consistently. Oh yeah. I didn't even exactly give up the position. He straight up just had a way better turn onto the straightaway than me. And DRS to boot. That wasn't even surrendering third place. That was just straight up, I drove badly. And behind me, I'm pretty sure I did give up the position too.
No, I saw half the pit lane have reds for qualifying.
Maybe I should try a 2-pitch strategy. I mean, what's the worst that can happen if we do a 2-pitch strategy? If we go mediums to 30%, pit for reds, and then pit for reds at 40% each, right? What's the worst that can happen? This part I did freak out on, because I saw the orange dot get really close.
I can't actually see what the dot behind me is doing.
I look behind me and he's got so much distance it's not funny. I think I just freaked out for no reason. But that's what I mean. I psych myself out. My awareness of my surroundings is both a blessing and a curse, because when it comes to things like spatial awareness of people that are faster than me as they come up behind me, I feel like I'm a hazard. I feel like I can just be in the way. But that is the point. I need to be in the way. I need to defend. Except I get so focused on whether or not I'm going to cause an accident or brake too soon or make them rear end me. I get so caught up on all of those details that may never even happen that I miss my apexes run wide anyway. It's self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess. I end up being slower because I'm so worried about being slower.
Fighting for those positions, giving them up actually. It's interesting.
There's like two ways to look at it though, because the moment these guys get in front of me, I cannot keep pace. Not to save my life, I can't keep pace for anything. Like, look at that. They're on red tires, I'm on yellows, I'm at 40% worn, and I'm already cutting pretty egregiously there. I did figure out the line a little bit later on. That, come on. Was that penalized?
Thank you. I swear I'm just gonna tell him to talk less one day.
Yeah, okay. So that was a pretty egregious cut. I get that that one was penalized immediately.
Is that my final warning? Fuck off.
I mean, paying attention to how badly I'm cutting some of these corners, I get why I got immediate penalties and not the warning buffer. I still do wish there was like different dialogue between them though, like, oh, that cut was terrible. Jeff should have... Pit chiefs need very in-depth dialogue. They are your window into the actual things that happen in the race. Spotters as well. Your spotter and your chief need to be the two most talky people in the game, but they need to have the amount of lines of dialogue to back it up. It's why crew chief is so good, because crew chief would tell you exactly what happened and why it happened that way.
140 flash.
Crew chief will tell you every time you flag the officials for cutting corners. Crew chief Jim, from crew chief will come on board and he'll be like, the officials are looking into that. Please keep it clean. think Jim even actually has a line of dialogue when you run out of warnings in the game, when he says, if you cut again, you will be penalized. Alrighty though. But I was keeping pace with Durr here pretty well, and I remember him spinning out a little bit later. And all of the time I lost from them running away, I gained back using my one pitch strategy, to be fair.
To be at lap 18.
So, if I could pit at the same time they did, like I drove past Joel in the pits again in a little bit. Would have been about here somewhere.
We're going onto the sub tires. We have
Right before this, because we pit immediately after him. There he is. A little bit more, shall we? But if I use the one pitch strategy, they pit, they get back in front of me, and then when they pit again, I pit at the same time. We all come out of the pits at the same time. The idea being that me going from yellows to reds means that I could effectively put my fuel load on high. We did pretty well on fuel management. We ended up with +8. But we were also 1 lap behind. We got overtaken when we spun out after hitting Bliss. In theory, though, the one pitch strategy uses the first pit stop as a buffer for me to catch up with a podium position race car. I lose the time back with the weak tires, catch up again with the second pit. In theory.
every fucking apex around there.
Oh, was that the point I missed? I didn't even have a damaged wing at that point, I just drove bad.
Shut up.
Why is so much of me racing this track just... Oh, I just drove that bad. Oh, I did that terribly. I really don't like this track. I should have pit there. I should have forced the pit there behind Durr. Joel went in behind me. This put me back in 3rd or 2nd. And I immediately called box this lap. No, there's Joel. It was Bliss behind me. If I pit then, Bliss would have been behind me out of the pits after me. I would have been out of the pits after Durr, and I would have been on fresh tires exactly where I was right now 10 seconds ago. I would have been perfectly fine. Hitting there, forcing the pit if Durr went in, should have been my strat, but I sort of dilly-dallied and went, oh, everyone's pitting now, so I should go next lap. If I'm more concise on when I pit using a one-pit strategy, I think I really can actually get a lot more out of it than this.
Hey Jay, welcome in.
And it was coming up here, we went into the pits.
Lap, we're just gonna put
Lagging a little bit.
aim. Aim.
No penalty for speeding in the pit lane though, that was nice.
Aim, please. Okay.
We were the last one in the pits with 9 laps left.
9
Not to mention, I wanted to pit with 10 laps left. I think that was the better strat. I pitted a lap later than I wanted to. There's Joshosaurus just past us on the main straight. And Bliss Tech coming up behind. And you watch, I'll back off. I completely back off. I brake way too early. I'm shifting down to 1st. I even get, like, ghosted because the game says you're going too slow. And I just let
just overtook us, which puts us
5th place go.
we're in
I should have just held it.
wasn't
So many things I could have done better.
pit lane though.
Alas. It's done.
How are you going, Jay?
And then we have the 6 laps where I chased down 5th place only to throw it all away.
Keen eyes to see
That's what it
everything that
is.
moves in the water. And when a fish swims by, he strikes and seizes the fish with his bill. When he sees a fish come near the surface, he plunges like a blue streak.
Oh well. But that's it. We ran out of time. I'll actually let the timer, sadly.
Hello there.
Whoops. Oh, welcome in. How are we going for this? I just posted the picture of me basically rear-ending you. 3 times. Twice in the same lap, and then the next, I think it was the very next lap, I went for a gap that technically didn't exist. But in my defense, the gap would have existed if I caught up a little bit more and put less distance between us going into the turn. But yeah. How are you going? I'm probably going to be switching off. I don't know what to switch to. I want to switch to a different racing game, but like there's a little bit of me that does. I think we're just going to go to Elder Scrolls for the rest of the day. How you spell parallel? Oh, it's one.
The heron eats many fish.
Alright.
And sometimes frogs and snakes.
Oh, that's what we were gonna do before we end up here. I don't know. I know I've seen the Britain highlight. The Belgium highlight, I don't think I've seen.
Shallow, reedy waters on lakes or rivers. After fishing in one place for a while, he may fly on to another favorite spot.
To think, if I'd actually, instead of gunning for the racing line, if I'd actually taken that narrower turn in, I think I could have also made that work better. Just so much I could have done that race that I didn't do. Let's have a look though, what happened at Spa? Coming up in 4th place, following Burnabear. We go very, very wide. Burnabear definitely in front of me and I gave her way too much room. Again, flying blind without Jim is an absolute curse. I do not know why Jim doesn't work in races, in leagues, because he works in the multiplayer lobbies in ranked. I found that afterwards, a lot of people were taking that corner in 3rd gear. Coming up onto the back straight. I think that must be Joshosaurus behind me. I'm certain that's Joshosaurus behind me, battling for 4th. I'm behind Burnabear, who was in 3rd. Joel from Oz in 2nd. And Durr in 1st. Locking up the front tyres, running wide, giving Joshosaurus the freebie. No questions asked. Locking up again the next lap. What a beautiful highlight. We skipped the whole lap. Nothing happens. Don't think about it. Coming up into you, Rogue. We're still sticking to Joshosaurus's tail. Coming into the left hand. Is this where he brake checks me? Yeah. Okay. That wholeheartedly, I feel like I got brake checked here. Intentional or not, I mean, definitively I got brake checked. This was insane. Like, look at the change of pace. I don't think he missed his line so bad that he could not have held it. You get 3 warnings for running wide. There's 3 for track limits and 3 for cutting corners, I believe, unless it's egregious or you gain a massive delta. So, I don't know. Like, when it comes to this corner here, I'd like to see his point of view. Because with netcode as well, he might have only tapped his brakes, but dropping down from 180 to 170 or even 160 on a corner that should be flat out might just feel like you're being brake checked when really it was a minor tap of the brakes, just a miss going wide. because it really did feel... Do we have a way to slow the time down? How do I bring the thing back up? How do I bring the thing back up? Do we have a way to slow it down? No, we don't. There's no slow-mo. Really kind of just feel... He's still run wide. So, does he have wing damage? Let's actually have a look here. He does have wing damage. He's missing his front left wing. I don't know if it just generally affects your handling around turns. Sometimes it feels like the side of the wing you damage is the only side that's affected. I feel like sometimes if I damage my left, then it's turning right, where it would catch the arrow, that feels the worst. But other times I feel like there are corners where I just can't take anymore once I damage either side of the wing. I can't put a finger on it. He does have wing damage, however. Knowing that makes me think that he was going to 100% one ride here, because he seems to come in fairly well into this corner. At this point, I feel like he's doing pretty well. I want a screenshot of that, that's nice. But he came in, he tapped the brakes, and crunch. Not much to be said about it. Given the situation, it definitely wasn't intentional, but it felt like, oh my lord, it was like, there's so many moments where it's like, oh, I'm gonna punch your back tire. But yeah, from his point of view, I get it. He was gonna run wide. I'm an absolute loser. I hold my throttle and run wide and then just get back onto the track. If I have a runoff like this, I'm taking it flat out even with a broken wing. I just go wide and come back on. I only care about that when Jeff comes on and says, you've been gonna be given a penalty. You get 3 warnings. He's silent for the first 2, and he's meant to come on the radio for the 3rd warning, but I've had a lot of trouble with him doing that. Either way, I joined Joshosaurus here in the broken front wing club. We smashed up our front wide. He had a smashed front left. I still held around the corner and overtook. I don't know if I unsettled him and he slowed down, which is probably very likely. We completely missed the part of the clip where I spin out, and then we completely... Okay, context, because that just looks funny. So I spin out. You don't see it, but there I am, having spun out. Let's watch this next bit. So, context. I spun out, as mentioned, had a bit of wing damage, smashed the front of my car directly into the wall, reversed, and then took off. Here we are. Here I am, and there is Jeff on the radio. You've got a bit of wing damage. We're going to need you to check your MFD for a new pit strategy. So, like an absolute genius, thinking I'm on a straight, I don't have to watch the road, I open my MFD and start messing with pitch strategies on the fly, turning into a right-hander sort of bend, and not remembering to actually turn the other way when the bend ends. So I just keep bending right, and then I look up and go, oh, crunch. No extra damage, just entirely amusing. But we went in, we got our wing repaired, we held out until lap... It was 22 laps, we would have pit at lap 9. The lap counter went from 8 to 9 while I was in the pit lane, and we went to softs. So this is the point after we've pit, we've come out on softs, and we have 12 laps on these soft tyres, if we do not pit again. Oh! That was the... Wait, I should have wing damage here. This is the part where Joshosaurus crashed. No, I got it the wrong way around. Joshosaurus, I think, had wing damage. I had 60% soft tyres. So, in my head, because I keep thinking tyres against wing, for some reason I keep getting confused that I have the wing damage, but... I'm looking, though. Doesn't look like he has wing damage either. Oh, he will after the crash. Good memory. So, there I am driving past with my 50% plus red tires. We had how many laps left? Like 6 or 7 at that point. Because my tires did get up to just short of 80. And I celebrated by trying to pop them across the finish line. But no cigar. Because I remember the last stint of the race, I remember thinking, there's no way Joshosaurus pits with up to almost 5 laps left. So it's going to be my tires falling off a cliff versus his wing keeping him back. Average highlight. So many of the things I actually watched back in the VOD are not there in the highlight, sadly. But let's find out how atrocious today's highlight is. Got them all exported. I did enjoy my time at Spa. Today was miserable for me because I didn't know the track. Every corner feels blind going over like it genuinely feels like they've designed the track so that you can't see the apex. It feels nightmarish. It's like I've said before, pulling teeth. It shouldn't be such a miserable track to drive. The sweeping S's that slow down and force you to think about more technical lines through the end of them should be one of the best tracks in the game. But it's like you've been handed an ice cream and someone put thumbtacks in it. It's like, why did you have to make all of them blind? It just sullies the fun. If you are here, BlizzTech, you would have seen in the clip, I genuinely follow you into the left panda before the collision because you can't see it. So I'm sort of like following you, tailing you, blindly almost trusting your line since you're ahead of me and you can see more. And we both turned in too early because I was just following. Yeah, if you know the track, you're fine, but learning a track that's 90% blind apex, not my cup of tea. I think I'll stick to tracks that are more readable. I mean, heaven forbid, I played Dirt Rally, and it feels like the tracks in Dirt Rally are more readable. There's one exception, which is a tight chicane at Hamlaate in Jamsa, Finland. There's this tight chicane with a giant rock if you don't actually turn into the blind left-right bit, because there's just a hill and it goes down as a rock right where you would normally fly into midair. That's the one part, but again, that's one part of Jamsa, Finland on a track Hamlaate. The rest of it is perfectly readable. Maybe give or take a few turns here and there, but I feel like this track just is unnecessarily miserable with the blind apexes. Let's find out what's happened in the highlight though. Starting in last position behind Bernabarbot and Badger. Badger's the other bot, isn't it? We came up parallel, actually. Did we have slight collision with X, I believe? And I think that's you in front of X, and I don't know. Judging by the grid, I always assume... Oh my lord, I just saw Josh pit maneuver there. Look at that. Right there. That was a... I mean, I don't know who I'd say. There's tons of room on Joel's left. But technically speaking, would you not say Der Groschen's Joel? Not the other way around? Well, I don't think Joel drove into Der so much as Der turned into Joel. But still, that's brutal. And then Joshosaurus in the next turn too. I had a minor collision by the looks of it with X. That spun back around and caught up lightning quick too. I don't think he got any damage from that because it was side by side. Almost a bit of collision between X and Joshosaurus. I'm chilling at the back. Oh, we don't see the spin up. Here's me trying to overtake Bernabarbot. Almost getting the run on the outside. Almost. And I think I've actually bullied my way past... Oh, bullied? Yeah, no. That's much less bullying and more just, I'm going to take this corner terribly flat out. This was fun because this was me in third place. Everyone everyone else had come out of the pits, and I don't know, I assume everyone went for a 2-stop strategy, softs, mediums, or any combination thereof. Because I saw people come out of the pits twice. And sometimes I swear, I don't know what Joel started on, to be fair, we could go back and have a look, but I swear both times I saw so many people coming out with soft tires, and you can't stop twice and get softs both times. A, you only have 2 sets of softs, to my knowledge, on a balanced setup. B, you have to go mediums or hards. So I don't know if everyone just went mediums to start with like me and I didn't notice. But this was actually a really interesting moment because I was I'm never normally genuinely in 3rd place between Duh and Joel. X, I think, was in front, holding 1st. And, well, who else was there? I think at this point it definitely was Joel and X in front of me. But the point being, it hit me afterwards. Joel just overtook me because I drove bad. I missed my apex, I ran wide in the corner. He just took the entry slow and powered on the exit, got DRS and said goodbye. There was no real say I had in that, just because I took the corner so terribly onto the main straight. But this one was a bit more of like letting it happen. I sort of just sat behind, thinking I could maybe keep pace when Durr overtook, and I definitely wasn't able to. Unless there was Joshosaurus. Without name tags, it's really hard to keep track. Because I'm trying to think, that it feels like there was an extra person in front. Oh, and here's the final section. Oh, that was a bit of a narrow cut. No, wait, I'm on yellow wait, I'm still on yellow tires. So who's this? Who is this if I'm still on mediums tires? Now I'm completely lost. It's like the highlights taking things out of order. That was the first collision. I didn't actually see that very thoroughly on the VOD rewind. I would love to know my angle going into this corner. You turned in fairly quickly, actually. You switched directions pretty well. And I just bumped you coming around. If I hold a wider, again, all of my problems on that corner could be solved if I just hold a wider angle when we're driving next to someone. Bump, the second one. What do I brake at? So we pass, it cuts right as we pass the 150 marker. I normally brake at the 50 marker. I brake very late for this corner because I do have a lot of confidence going into it. It looks like I may have actually held my braking line here, which could be why I ran a little close to you coming into the actual turn. Tried to sneak and then lagged out. You got the distance. Oh, and there's the absolute worst cut of the main incident that happened today. Apparently I ghosted you in the collision. You were the one that got ghosted immediately. I wonder if that's why you didn't really feel anything, because the game just let you run away. But then I spun out. Oh no, it might have been because blue flag. Blue flag ghosts you now for some reason. Lost both my wings, orange on both sides. Stubbornness, I just kept driving. I knew I had sick. Taking my frustrations out on that little tiny apex marker. What's sad is I wasn't even losing time without the wings. Like you can see, final lap. Oh, for the love of... Never mind. The final lap though, I can see you guys, I can see you down the other end of the main straight on the final lap. That's a 6-second gap. I kept up with a completely fucked up wing, which is what I think is the most frustrating. Is that even with a massive handicap around all the turns, I still went faster just because I was braking and taking it slower. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That's the thing that hurts the most, is the fact I probably could have done the whole race infinitely better if I just wasn't trying to be fast in the first place. But just looking here too, 100%, Joel starts with softs. His first pit, he came out on soft tires. I don't remember seeing what he did on his second pit, because I'm pretty sure the second pit, I pit and he flew past in straight here. So I didn't actually see his tire selection. And because the opposite happened when he pit the lap prior, he pit coming out of the pits, I flew past. And I don't think we actually crossed paths until after I pit. So I don't know. He must have gone red, reds, yellows. But it's what it is. I knew today was gonna suck. I just didn't think it was gonna suck that badly. Like, I went from having like a mediocre race with a couple of penalties to just binning my car trying to push for a gap that I really, in hindsight, don't think existed. Not with the angle I took. If I was smarter about how I handled the overtake instead of just trying to make one happen, in hindsight, I could have ended both of our races, or at the very least spun us both out. It's probably a blessing in disguise that we got away so lightly with that collision. The fact BlizzTech didn't even, says he didn't even see or feel the collision at all is mind-boggling to me. But, yeah. Went from a kind of okay-ish race to one where I just threw it all down the drain in an attempt to try and get back to 5th. Here's what it is. We have a flying kick. And a flute. Okay. Well, I think we'll switch to ESL. I am going to go on a quick break though. I need to go to the restroom and stretch my leg. Oh, and OBS is having another hissy fit. OBS is on a roll today. Right. Get myself set up for the break real quick. Some reason computer is throwing a hissy fit. I don't know why F1 2020 brings out the worst in my computer, but it does. OBS throwing a hissy fit. Windows throwing a hissy fit. And it only seems to happen after streaming or during streaming F1 2020. Right. Well, myself reset back up here, and then we'll switch over to ESO. There's something else I needed to do first. Where would I have put it? Oh, is it not on my Google Drive? Speaking of, I should also get my export open up. Where do the exports go? Documents. My games? EA games? My games. F1 2020. Highlight. It is 800 megabytes. I might be able to squeeze that onto my Google Drive. I will probably have to ask if I can pass that off. Come on off. Alright. Sorry? OBS? You okay? Thank you, that's the right thing. I'm gonna take a very quick break. Probably grab a cup of tea or something. We'll be back within 10 minutes and we'll continue trying to beat all 36 quest lines in Gretwood. If you do head off, thank you for hanging around for as long as you have. If you're sticking around, I'll see you when I get back. Don't go anywhere.
During the nesting season, the parents are busy providing.
You know what I'm gonna do?
A brood usually consists of 3 or 4 young.
I'm going to set this playlist, this slideshow I've got here, I'm going to set it to in order. And I'm going to space out those GIFs as opposite ends. I'm going to have one dead center. And I'm going to have one at the bottom. And I've also got the BMNG.
Feathers appear
Where are
as
they?
it grows older, but the brightly colored
Wait.
feathers do not appear
I
until
call this
the second
survival
year.
crafting. This isn't survival crafting anymore. This is mishmash.
Parent birds often bring rabbits or
Mishmash
squirrels to
as
the
opposed to assorted games right below it.
But when food is scarce, they may attack other birds.
I'm not going to randomize playback. I'm going to be in order. I'm just going to shuffle them around manually.
A case of hawk eat hawk.
Wait, can I click and drag? Oh.
These young redtails are nearly full grown, and they are learning to fly.
Right? That should be fine. Slideshow's still playing, right? I'm hoping making them chaotically ordered and removing shuffle makes the gifts less frequently repeating. But I will be adding to Mishmash slideshow over time. Right. Let me jump into here, so let me get the title. I still have the title copied over here. I don't. Oh.